There's a guy, his name is Joe Moglia. You may not, I did not know of him. I should have. He was a pretty long-time head coach at Coastal Carolina, where now Jamie Chadwell is, and they've had a good run. He's the one that kind of built the foundation of Coastal Carolina, and he's the one that handpicked Jamie Chadwick to be the next coach. He has been around. He's also been in the investments business with TD America. He was at Nebraska for a couple of years trying to save that problem there back when Pelini was there, when they were actually winning 9 games and it wasn't enough. He's going to join us tomorrow at 4. Joe Moglia. He's kind of almost, I don't know if it would be fair to say a consultant. He's a part of the athletic department. Here are some quotes from him. We'd love to get your feedback, and we will open the lines at around 3:20 today. All right? The phone lines, which we haven't done in a while. And it's going to be about these quotes and about college football and athletics. From Chris Vanini, who we had on yesterday from theathletic.com. The first quote: I have a lot of respect for what the NCAA has done, but if this was the business world, the entire board would get fired. The entire executive management team would get fired.
Yeah, they would, because they'd probably be a publicly traded company, and people would see that stock crashing down every time they try and act, and investors would be upset by that, and they would overthrow that and, change things up. And I know that's a very loose version of events of how that would actually happen, but that's kind of how I see it going. If they were to be a publicly traded company like a lot of other corporations out there, investors, shareholders, they would not be happy with the product that they're getting. They would be even unhappier with the leadership that's, implementing that product or in charge of that product. And yeah, there would be some fight back on that. If it was a regular business, you wouldn't get we're understaffed, sorry, but you're still supposed to do your job. But we don't have enough people because of COVID. Well, I know there's a lot of other businesses out there that did that, but ultimately you still have to put out your product, and restaurants had to just have people working double time or have, people working part-time even more or whatever. The NCAA, they've just been understaffed, and that's all we've heard. Like, that any attempt to change that, we don't know about that. Any attempt to add on, if they did, would that have made any much of a difference? I don't think any of us believe that it would. I don't think we believe these problems are because they're understaffed. So that you've been understaffed for 2 decades, because these problems didn't just start during the COVID stretch. So, I agree with that wholeheartedly, that if they were a public company, there would not be, leadership just sitting fat happy at the top.
We are in the first year of our lifetimes where the NCAA has acknowledged we have done it all wrong. For the rest of the time, it was very holier than thou, and this is what we're going to do. This is the mission. It can't be any other way. Why not? Because if it is, then the whole world's going to come crashing apart. And that is what got them there now. And he's right. Companies that can't restaff, you can't hire people after you have little downturns, it's because of several things. One, your business model doesn't work. Well, we know that. For the NCAA, it's over. 2, and that means like you're, think about, like, I just read an article yesterday. Peloton has lost $757 million so far this year because they didn't project out for what happens when people can go to the gym again. Are they going to buy Pelotons anymore?
It was a COVID fad.
Yeah, it was a fad. So now they have to find a new way to grow their business out. Well, the NCAA, their fad is over. And not only that, when you have jobs open, because clearly they need the people, well, you're not doing anything to entice them over there. So what's wrong with your business, your place, business model? No one wants to work there.
Hell, man, nobody wants to. I mean, for all we know, there's not a whole lot of people lining up to be the president of the dadgum thing, much less the underlings who are doing enforcement. I know we got college football reporters who probably know some of those enforcement people, so I've seen a couple people comment, hey, don't blame this on the people in Indianapolis working in that building, the NCAA and all that. But it's like, okay, so who are we supposed to point to? I mean, Mark Emmert's on his way out the door. I guess we could point to him, but I've even seen some go, well, it's not technically his fault. But we're not talking specifically about individuals. We're talking about the body of the NCAA. Whoever's in charge of that, whoever's working under that umbrella has not been doing their jobs correctly. And some of that might be out of their control. Some of that has certainly been in their control. But bottom line, it doesn't even matter who we're talking about. It's just it's obvious that that's a part of college athletics right now that is on very shaky ground, with not a lot of faith behind it. Certainly not a lot of faith from administrators and college officials. I think that's clear every time they speak. And it is what it is. So at some point we got to stop picking and pointing and just do something about it.
He is, by the way, again, Joe Moglia will join us tomorrow at 4. We're thrilled to be able to get him, thanks to Kevin Davis at Coastal Carolina. He's the Coastal Carolina's chair of athletics and executive director for football. He's not even like getting paid but like $1 to work at Coastal Carolina because of some of the cutbacks they've had to make. He's fine. He's made his money. If he wanted to keep making money, he would not gotten back into college athletics. He would be at TD Ameritrade. Here's another